All right, let's jump right in. We all make promises, right? We make agreements every single day. But what's the real line? The one that separates a simple promise from a contract that'll actually hold up in court? Well, today we're going to find out. And it's all thanks to a really unlucky football fan from way back in 1938.
Seriously, just imagine this. You've done it. You have the winning ticket clutched in your hand. We're talking a life-changing prize. You go to cash it in, and the company just looks at you and says, "Nah, we're not paying." How furious would you be? It feels totally illegal, but could they actually get away with that?
Well, believe it or not, this isn't just some made-up nightmare. This exact thing really happened. And it sparked a court case that, even all these years later, teaches us a huge lesson about how contracts work. Okay, let's set the scene. The year is 1938 in the UK. The case is Jones versus Vernon's Pools. So a guy named Mr. Jones was sure he'd sent in a winning football pool coupon and that he was owed a ton of cash. Vernon's Pools, on the other hand, claimed they never even got it. But the real question for the court was, even if they did get it, did they actually have a legal duty to pay him the winnings? Now, you'd think this would be a huge, messy legal fight. But nope. The entire case, the whole thing, balanced on just one tiny little sentence. A few words hidden in the fine print on the very coupon Mr. Jones filled out. And here they are, the words that changed everything. This transaction is binding in honor only. I mean, what does that even mean? Well, as it turns out, in the world of law, it means absolutely everything. This little phrase has a name. Lawyers call it an honor clause. And you can think of it as a pre-agreed way of saying, hey, we're making a deal here, but let's just agree to keep the courts out of it. It basically turns a legal issue into a trust issue. It's based on good faith, not on the threat of getting sued. So this whole situation just begs a really important question. If that agreement wasn't a contract, what was missing? What's that secret ingredient that takes a simple promise and turns it into something a judge can actually enforce? Okay, think of a legal contract like a recipe. You need a few key ingredients. First, you need an offer. That's Vernon's Pools saying, hey, play our game. Then you need acceptance. That's Mr. Jones filling out the coupon. Then you need consideration. That's just something of value being exchanged, like his money for their potential prize. But here's the kicker, the fourth ingredient, intention. Both sides have to actually intend to create a deal that the law can enforce. And this is where the rubber meets the road. A legal contract, it's enforceable. If someone breaks their promise, you can take them to court, and there are real legal consequences. An honor agreement, though, totally different. It's not legally enforceable. If someone breaks their promise, the only consequences are social. Damage to their reputation or your trust in them. So when you look back at our recipe, you see exactly what that honor clause did. By printing binding in honor only, Vernon's Pools very deliberately took that fourth ingredient, the intention, right off the table. They basically said from the start, this is not a legal deal. And because Mr. Jones agreed to play by those rules, the court had no choice but to agree. Their hands were tied. You might think, okay, that's some dusty old case, who cares? But this idea is everywhere today. It's in the fine print and terms and conditions of almost every giveaway you enter. It's why you can't sue your friend for bailing on helping you move. And it even shows up in big business deals where they're sometimes called gentlemen's agreements, relying on a handshake and reputation instead of a lawsuit. So there's one big thing to take away from all this. It's this. Not every promise is a contract. Not even close. At the end of the day, what really truly matters is the intent behind the promise. If the people involved never meant for it to be a legal thing, then the courts will almost always agree. And that kind of leaves us with a final thought to chew on. Just think about it for a second. The promises you make, the little deals you have with your friends or family, how many of those agreements in your own life rely completely and totally on honor? It's something to think about. Thanks so much for tuning in.